Let us try to solve the exercise number 2 in the part A of PHP lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to write a PHP program that collects the input from the user through a text box and checks whether the given number is an Armstrong number or not. Apart from this, they expect us to do two other things, and that is, if the number is indeed an Armstrong number, then display all the numbers in the range from 1 to the specified number. And they have said that 0 is not a Armstrong number. Also, they expect us to perform text validation, including the check for positive integer and general text input. They have given us a few sample screenshots of what we are supposed to do. And here you notice that there is a form. In this, there is a text box, and that is what they have said. We are supposed to collect the user input through a text box, and that is what is the meaning. So we are supposed to collect the input from the user, and we are supposed to check whether the given number is an Armstrong number or not. Suppose if the user types the number as 153 and 153 happens to be an Armstrong number, then we are supposed to say whether that number is an Armstrong number. If it is so, then we are supposed to say that 153 is an Armstrong number. So this is what is the second part. They said that whether the given number is an Armstrong number or not. This is the other part. Apart from this, what they expect us to do is, if this number is an Armstrong number, so that is 153 is an Armstrong number, then we are supposed to generate all the Armstrong numbers between 1 and 153. So we are supposed to generate all the Armstrong numbers. So for example, they have generated the Armstrong number from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on and so forth. And they have said that 0 is not included here because according to them, 0 is not a Armstrong number. Now suppose if the number that is typed is not an Armstrong number, so this is the second one. If the number is not an Armstrong number, then we are supposed to just say that it is not an Armstrong number, and there is no need to generate the Armstrong numbers between 1 and a given range. So that is not we are supposed to do it. Also, the second part, what they are saying here is perform a text validation and includes checks for positive integers as well as the general input. Suppose if you run the application, this is how it looks like. So this is the form that you have. And in this form, you are going to type 153. And if this happens to be a Armstrong number, and if you click on this, it's going to generate, going to say that it is an Armstrong number, and it's going to generate all the Armstrong number between 1 and 153. Suppose if the given number is not an Armstrong number, then it's going to say that is not an Armstrong number. Instead of this, if you type a text here, say let's say 100, let's say 100, and if you click on that, it's going to say please enter a positive integer. What about the negative number? Suppose if you type minus 50, it must say the same thing. So this is what we are supposed to do it. So let's start creating this first part. And what is this first part? Let's start creating a form, and then we will do the verification of Armstrong number and the other part later. I have with me the NetBeans. Also, I have also installed the XAMPP, and I have started the Apache web server, which is running. I don't need MySQL for this exercise, so I have not started that thing. Now, there are two things that you can do is for every exercise, if you are using NetBeans, for every exercise, you can create one project that will create too many projects. Instead of this, you can just create one project and then keep on adding new pages to this. after all, most of your exercises are one-page exercises, so they are not going to make much of a difference. For example, if you notice over here, I just created a demo. Here I have one project called as a 5th semester A batch project, and if I want to add one more file to this existing project, just right click and then say new, and then say PHP page. And if you are solving the exercise number 3, then you just say exercise A3 and something, and give some name, relevant name, and then just say finish. It's going to create a exercise for this. So this is your exercise number 2. You can double click on this to activate that, or you can go to the project and double click on this to activate this. Again, what if one fine day you find that this project is not visible here? In that case, just go to this window here. You have a window, and the first option that you get is the project. So if you click on this, the project, if you click on this project, it's going to come front. Now for this exercise, I'm going to just create a new project. I'm going to close all these things because they will disturb you. So how do I create a new project? Is just go to the file and click on new project and give a name to this project. So you select PHP as your programming language, and then select the PHP application, and then click next. Here you are supposed to give a name to your project, and I'm going to give the name for this project as, I'm going to say 6th sem B batch. Okay. And you can give, let's say, so you have a second batch or any other name that is relevant to your batch. And the one thing you notice that if you're using the NetBeans will automatically detect where is XAMPP installed on your machine, and it will go to the htdocs of that, and it will create a separate folder for you. So this way you don't have to bother about copying it or storing your files in a particular location. NetBeans will do the housekeeping thing for you, so you can just concentrate on building your application. There is nothing much you can do from here. You can just click next, or directly click on finish. So I'm going to just click next, and I don't have any frameworks with me. I'm going to click next. There is no need for a composer. Just click finish. That will create an exercise. If you look at the project here, what you notice is I have created a project called 6th semester B batch. Okay, now how to add new files to this? So go to this project, this part, that is the name of the project, where the PHP 6 sems anything is written there. Right click and then say new file. So because we are creating web page also, if you're just creating a plain PHP file, just create a PHP file. If you're creating a PHP class, you can do that thing, and so on and so forth. So I want to create a PHP web page. I'm going to just click on this PHP web page. And because this is a exercise number 2, so I'm going to say exercise A2, and I'm going to say Armstrong, just to say that this is an Armstrong exercise to find the Armstrong number. And as usual, NetBeans will give some advertisement saying that you can do many things over here. This is a remark statement. You notice that this is a remark statement. You can just remove this and just press delete to remove this remark statement. Let me add the title to this project, and I'm going to say this is Armstrong numbers. Okay, so let's say I have created Armstrong numbers, so that is it. And let's start creating the form for us. So first thing that we are going to do is we are going to create the form that they have shown here. So we are going to create this form. The calculation part we will do later. So this is what we are supposed to do. Remember, this is the output part. Only first we are going to show only the input part. So let me create a form there, and you know very well, if at all you want to submit something to the server, you have to create a form. So I'm going to say form, okay, and I'm going to use the method post here. So just type PO, control and space together. So control and space bars together. NetBeans will finish the work for you. So this is the form with the post method, and I'm going to press enter, and that means we'll close the form tag, so I don't have to type that on my own. And let's look at what are the things that they have done here. So if you look at here, there is a heading, Armstrong number checker. So let me write that thing. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to use the h2 tag. Okay, let me go to /h2 also. So then I'm going to just type that thing. So Armstrong number checker. So this is what they have said there. So I hope that is what they have said there. Let me just cross verify. Where is it? Armstrong number checker. Okay, after that you have enter a number. So this is what they have. Let me go here and zoom out. I think I can increase the font size rather than this, but let me do it. So I'm going to say enter a number. Let me just see what is that. Enter a number. So n in small case. Enter a number. Done, and a semicolon. And after this you have what else you have? After this you have a text box over here. So let me create a text box. How do you create a text? I'm going to type it, press enter here. Remember, pressing enter will not create an second line in the HTML. You need to put either BR tag or paragraph tag to get this new line there. So you just press enter here. It's not going to come in the next line in the final output. So let me create a text box. How do you create a text box? You're going to say input, and you're going to say type is text. So I'm going to say TE and press enter and select text. Let me give a variable name for this one, and I will call this one as the number because we are typing a number. And let me say this is required because without this there is no point required. So this is required. So this is going to create a text box for me. I will not close it like this. Okay, done. Okay, press escape if you get irritated by the hint that is given by the PHP, that is the NetBeans. So just press escape if you when you type something. Let's say if I type something, you get this kind of thing. If you are not happy with that, just press escape. It will vanish. Okay. So after this, let's see what else is required. One button is required. So let me put a button there. So I'm going to go here and let me put the button. So again, I'm not going to put the button because I have to submit it. So I'm going to say input type is equal to sub, and I'm going to press control space, and NetBeans will do the needful thing for me. And let me give the variable name for this one as name is let me call it as btn, short form for button. So how you do it in the Visual Basic. So I have to show the text message on this button. So what is the text message? The text message is check. So I'm going to say value. Yeah, let me zoom in for you. Value is say check. Let me make it as C in capital. Done with this. Let me remove all the unwanted space. Okay, done. How do you run this one? Remember, don't run this from here like how you are doing it in Java. Don't run it from here. Right click and then say run. So if I just want to run this file, not the entire project. So right click anywhere in this blank area, a lot of blank areas, the right click and then select run the file, or shift F6, one and the same. So when you do that, the NetBeans will activate the browser, and it will show you the where is it? It just said that I cannot. What is the problem? Let me just run it one more time, and it has not activated this browser. Let's see what is the problem. My Apache is running. Okay, maybe my machine is a bit slow, so you may see that effect. Because my machine is slow, it just took slightly longer time, and this is what we are supposed to get it. Armstrong number checker, enter a number and type the number, and you are good to go. So you type 153 and you click on this check button. It will be submitted. You notice here when I click on this check, you'll notice this check here. What is it? When I click on this check, you notice that it is submitting it. When it is submitting, what is that you are supposed to do? So you are supposed to take action. When you are supposed to take the action, when you click on this button, you are supposed to take action. So you have studied Java, you have studied VB.NET, and you know very well when the button is clicked, you get this on click event. So however, we don't have this on click event for button in PHP. Then what we have? What we have in PHP is I can say whether that particular thing is set or not. So there is a method called as isSet, which is going to say whether the value for that particular component is set or not. So in plain English, it's going to say whether this check button was clicked or not. So I'm going to take action only when this button, that is this check button, is clicked. So how am I going to do that thing? Is I have the PHP part over here. You can type, if it is not there, you can type it. So it's so easy to type PHP and close PHP. So after my form, I'm going to type that thing. And what is that I'm going to say? So if this button is clicked in your VB, you would have said that if this button, or in VB or Java, you would have said that if this button is clicked, I'm going to check whether this number, whatever number that is typed over here, is a Armstrong number or not. What is the variable name of this button? You notice that I gave the name for this button. Let me zoom in for you. Name for this button as btn. So this is the name that I have given. Okay. So I'm going to go over here and let me go over here, and I'm going to say if okay, is set. Remember, you can use control space if at all you want to get. So how am I sending this particular button? So when I click on this button, how is it going to the server? It is going back to the server. How is it going? So which is the method that it is following? You notice that the method that I've used for this form is post. So this is the method that I've used. So I have to check within the post. If I change this method, there are other method, get method is there. I have to check for the get. Now because I said the method is post, I'm going to search in the post. So in the method post, I'm going to check whether that button is clicked or not. How am I going to do that? So I'm going to say $_post. You will, don't worry, you will learn this story in your theory. So now I just want to check whether that button, what is the name of it, is btn. Remember, this is btn. So btn is posted to me. So btn is posted to me. So that is what I am saying, whether that button is set. So some value is set for this button. If the value is set for that button, that means the button has been clicked. So it is simple as that. So if this method isSet is true, that means the button is clicked. If this isSet is false, that means the button is not clicked. Simple as that. So if this button is clicked, we are going to check whether the given number is prime or not. So how am I going to get this number? So whatever number that somebody is going to type here, 153, whatever number that somebody is typing here, how am I going to get it? So this is inside this text box. What is the name of that text box? So if you notice the code over here, the name of the text box that I gave is number. Okay. How is this number sent? This number is sent using post method. So I have to check inside that post whether that number is set or not. So how am I going to do that thing is I'm going to create a local variable here called say number, num, short form that. And you know how to check. So $_post, and then what is the name of that variable? Name of the variable is number. So name that I gave for the text box is number. So what I'm saying is, in other words, get the value that is there inside the text box with the name number. So I gave the name of this as number. So there is a text box called as number, and go there. This text box is posted back to me. Why it is posted back to me? Because the method is post here. So go there, this text box is posted to me, and go there to that text box, whatever value which is there inside that text box, get that value and then show it to me, or give it to me. So that is it. So in other words, whatever number that is typed here is now transferred to a variable inside PHP. So this variable num here gets the value of the text box. Whatever value that is typed inside of the text box is obtained there. So I got it. Now I'm supposed to check whether the given number is an Armstrong number or not. So now onwards all our problems will start. Now the first question is, what is an Armstrong number? So that's the first question. So what is an Armstrong number? So Armstrong number is a number that is equal to the sum of digits. So if the number is equal to sum of digits raised to its digit, but let me read it again. So Armstrong number, also known as the other number, is a number that is equal to sum of its digit, each raised to the power of number of digits. So what is this story? So you are getting confused. So it's a very simple thing. 153, you know very well, according to them also 153 happens to be a Armstrong number. So how did they get that Armstrong number? First thing is, any number that is given to you, any number for that matter, you count how many digits are there. So 1 is one digit, 5 is second digit, 3 is the third digit. So how many digits are there? Totally 3 digits are there. Suppose if you look at here, how many digits are there in this one? 1 is one digit, 6 is second digit, third digit, 4 digits. So totally how many digits are there? Totally 4 digits are there. So first thing, you count how many digits are there. So that is it. Now take individual number. Take 1, take 5, take 3. Okay, so take one number. How many digits were there? Totally there are 3 digits are there. So 1, 5 and 3. Totally 3 digits are there. Take 1. Okay, raise it to the power of total number of digits, that is 1 cube. Take 5, raise it to the power of number of digits. Take 3, raise it to the power of total number of digits. So 1 cube plus 5 cube plus 3 cubes. Okay, add them together. Okay, what about in this case? There are 4 digits are there. Totally how many digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So totally 4 digits are there. 1 is one digit, 6 is second digit, 3 is third digit, 4 is fourth digit. So 4 digits are there. Take 1 first digit, 1 to the power. Totally how many digits are there? Totally 4 digits are there. So 1 to the power 4. Take the second digit, 6 to the power 4. Take the next digit, 3 to the power 4. Take the next digit, 4 to the power 4. Add them together. 1 to the power 4, 6 to the power 4, 3 to the power 4. Add them together, all of them. When you add, you are going to get the sum. If the sum happens to this be the same number, if this sum 1 to the power 4 plus 6 to the power 4 plus 3 to the power 4 plus 4 to the power 4, if this happens to be 1634, then 1634 is an Armstrong number. So what is 1 to the power 4 is 1. What is 6 to the power 4 is 1296. What is 3 to the power 4 is 81. What is 4 to the power 4 is 256. So if you sum all of them, the total happens to be 1634. This is the same number as 1634, and that is why it is called as an Armstrong number. What about this 371? So how many, first of all, how many digits are there in 371? 1, 2, 3. 3 digits are there. So take 3 to the power 3 plus 7 to the power 3 plus 1 to the power 3. So 3 to the power 3 is 27. 7 to the power 3 is 343. And 1 to the power anything is 1. So if you add all of them, you get 171, 371, which is same as the given number. So 371 is Armstrong number. Same thing is true. Take 5, take 1 raised to the power 3, because totally 3 digits are there. Take 5 raised to the power 3. Take 3 raised to the power 3. So 3 cube is 27. 5 cube is 125, and 1 cube is 1 itself. You add all of them, you get 153. That is same as the given number, and that is why it is called as Armstrong number. So what is an Armstrong number? If the number is equal to the sum of digits each raised to the power of number of digits. Sum of digits, not only that, each digit raised to the sum of individual digit, each raised to the power of total number of digits. Now the first question is, in order to find a given number, so suppose if a number is given 3, 4, 9, 7, 6, 2, 9, is this a Armstrong number? What is the first thing you must do? First thing you must do is count how many digits are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Totally 7 digits are there. You have to count how many digits are there. So given any number, first thing you are going to do is count how many digits are there. So how do you count how many digits are there? For this, so suppose if I type, let's go to my, where is this story? Okay, I'm going to type here 3956. How many digits are there? You will say that there are 4 digits are there. How do I do it in PHP? Now good part about this is you know that this is a text box. Okay, this is a text box. So whatever you type here, whether you type the number or whether you type a text here, this is a text box. Okay, whether you type this number, this is also text. So if you are given a text, how many characters are there in this? Okay, how many characters are there? 4 characters are there. How do you find the number of characters? In C, you had a function called as length of a string. Okay, so we are going to use that string function to find the length of the string. So first thing we are going to do is we are going to get the length of the string. Remember why this is a string? Because it is a text box. It is not a number. It's a text. Even if you type 1, 2, 3, 4, even if you type here 157, if you type here 153, 157, whatever you type here, this is a text. So what is, you know, what is the meaning of saying text? What do I mean by saying that? It is this 153. It is a text here. Okay, you can find the length of the characters. This is the, how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3. So length of this string is 3. So how do I get the length of the string? So let me get the length of the string. I'm going to store that as a number of digits, because we want to find how many digits are there. Let me create a variable. Let me zoom in for you, called as digits. Okay, and how do I find the length? There is a, fortunately there is a method called as str string length. Okay, in C you had only length, now you have string length. The len function, you know, in C, that is the same function that you have it here. I want to find the length of the number. As simple as that. So I got the length of the number. So how many digits are there? Those many numbers that I am going to get that. So it is simple as that. Okay. Now, next thing is how to check whether the given number is a Armstrong number or not. You got the length there. Okay, you got the length, but you need to find the individual digits. So what do I mean by saying that is, so you got the length here. Let me go to this story. Where is this? 153 was there. Okay, here. Okay, now I know I got the length 3, that is 3 number of digits. Now how to get this 1, how to get the 153? I have to get 1 to the power, I have to get 1 to the power 3. So that means I have to get this 1 plus I have to get 5 to the power 3. That means I have to get the 5 out of here. Then I have to get plus 3 to the power 3. That means I have to get 3 out of here. Remember, this is you can use you may say that okay, you have a string extract method and so on and so forth, but you have studied this story in a C program. So what is that story that you studied in a C program? Suppose if you are given 153 and if you operate mod of 10, what is the meaning of saying mod? Remainder. So if you divide 153 by 10, what is the remainder? So 10 will go in 100, 10 will go in 50, but 10 cannot divide 3. So what is the remainder? Remainder is 3. So you got in C, you have done that thing, reverse a number and so on. So you divide this, you get the mod of that. So you get the remainder divided by 10, you get 3. So you got this 3 here. At least fortunately you got 3 here. Now how do I get 15? Now don't say that you divide it by 10 square, that is 100. You get it. No doubt you can get it. But we'll go with the C programming story. What is this C programming story? Remember, you can divide it by 100, then you'll get this one. So there is no problem with that. But let's go with the C story. How do you get this one? Now, if you take this number 153, if you divide it by 10, what is the answer that you are going to get? Answer you are going to get is 15.3. Because you know very well 10 cannot divide, so 15.3. I want the integer part. This is fraction part. I want the integer part. How do I do that thing? I'm going to say integer of this, integer part of this. So what is the meaning of saying integer part of this? I don't want the fractions. So 15.3 is there. I want the integer part. So when you say integer part, you are left with only 15.3 is a fraction part. So we remove this 0.3. So what I got is 15 now. Now I'm going to take this 15. Okay, this one part is over. So I'm going to take this 15. Okay, 15. And again, I'm going to get the model operator, mod 10. So what is the remainder? So, you know, 10 will divide this 10. 5 is the remainder. So you get this 5 as the remainder. So you got the second number 5. Got it. Okay. Now, how do you split this one? So again, the same, you've done it in C program. So 15 divided by 10. So what is the answer? 15 divided by 10 is 1.5. I don't want the fraction part. So what you are going to do is you are going to say, I want the integer part of this. So what is the integer part of this without fraction? So you get 1 there. Now you take this 1. So this is over. Okay. Now you take this 1. Okay. Mod 10. So what is the answer you're going to get? 10 cannot divide 1, so remainder is 1 itself. Okay, now repeat this same story. What is this same story? I want the integer part of, what is that integer part of 1 over 10. Okay, so what is this 1 over 10? Let me do it. Okay, so 1 over 10 is 0.1. What is the integer part? Integer part is 0. So you get 0. So when you get 0, you just stop. So this is what you have said. So keep on, in other words, keep on reducing. So there were 3 digits were there for this number. Reduce it to 2 digits, reduce it to 1 digit, and when there is 0, you just stop. So this is a story that you have studied in your C program. So we are going to do the same thing. So what are the 2 things that you are doing? First, you perform the modulo division, that is the remainder operator. Then you divide it and get the integer part of it. So we are going to do that. So let's go back to the story. Now, before we go into our stories of generating, so you got the broad idea how we can go about doing it. Before we jump into that, let us try to take care of few things that they have asked us. So here what they have said is perform the text validation. Okay, check for the positive integer as well as a general text. So that is what they have said. If the number is a negative number, don't say that it is Armstrong. Don't check for Armstrong number. If text is typed, because it's a text box, somebody can type the text box. Somebody can say 25. So this is text. You say that don't type like that. Type the actual number. So that is error handling has to be done. So let's first look at this error handling. I'm going to just zoom in and I'm going to remove this idea I've just used to just tell you what we are going to do it. So first I'm going to do over here is I'm going to check if the number that is typed in this text box, if it is not a, what is it, if it is not a numeric number, then we are supposed to give an error message. Or if it is less than 0 or 0 or less than 0, we are supposed to say that this we cannot perform this operation. So how am I going to do that? So I'm going to just check here. So if how to check a given number is a numeric number or not. So in C you have this is character, is lowercase, is uppercase, something like that. So here also we have a built-in function called as is numeric, and obviously I don't have to tell you what it is going to do. It will check whether the given number is numeric. If it is not, it's going to return obviously false. If the given number is numeric, so if the given number is numeric, so for example, it's going to say it's going to return true. If it is not numeric, it's going to return false. So it's as simple as that. Now let me go ahead and next thing what they have said is, let's look at what they have said. Next thing that they have said is check for positive integer. So if it is a numeric number and if this number is greater than 0, okay, so because they said that 0 is not a Armstrong number, we will check if it is greater than 0. So I am stressing on that they said. Why didn't I said? I said. Okay, because I know that 0 is an Armstrong number. Okay, so that's why they said that it is not a Armstrong number. So I also believe that a boss is always right. So what to do? So it is not in the Armstrong number. Okay, so if tomorrow they said no, 0 is also a Armstrong number, then put equal to. So simple as that. Okay, now greater than, strictly greater than. So if it is so, we are going to do the everything. If it is not, okay, some people are writing like this, else here like this. So some people do that. I don't do this. I am happy with this story. If you don't like it, put one thing in one line. It's up to you. So this is my style of doing it. Your style, you can follow anything else also. Let us give an error message saying that echo, if it is not this one, I'm going to use a paragraph tag here, and I'm going to say given number, that is a number, is so not the given number. So what is this given number? Our story is please enter a positive integer. Okay, so let's put a /p. So this is what they have said. We are handling this error handling. So this is called as error handling. So here, if you say that they said please enter a valid positive number. What did I write there? Please enter. Let's say, let me try. Please enter a valid. What is this? Valid positive number. So what is that? Positive number, integer. Correct. So this is what the message that they are giving. Please enter a valid positive integer. So this is the message they said. I am also following. Please enter a valid positive integer. So that is the message. So if the number entered is not a thing, then we are supposed to do this. So let's see whether the things are proper. I'm going to save, you know very well, the keyboard shortcut for saving is CTRL, that is control plus S. Don't forget this one. Control plus S is the shortcut. So most of the time I'm doing it. Otherwise, you just come here to this corner and then click on this save. Okay. You don't have to right click every time and run this one. You can just come here and click on this and don't press refresh. So come here and click on this address bar, press enter. Okay, it will reload the things. Type 100 and this check. What is the message you are getting? Please enter a valid positive integer. So this is what you are going to get it. Type a number -34. What is the answer you are going to get? Please enter a valid positive integer. Okay, correct. So that is what they have said, that check for, where is the story? Check for positive and general text. So you have done it. Suppose what if somebody types 25, then you won't get any message, because you know very well, in that case this is a valid, 25 is a valid positive integer. Then you have to check whether this is a Armstrong number or not. So how am I going to do that thing? Let me write a separate function. There is a reason why I'm writing a separate function, because I will have to call it again and again. The reason is, if it is a Armstrong number, we are supposed to generate all the Armstrong numbers in this range. So we have to check every number, whether every number is an Armstrong number or not. So we have to call that routine again and again and again. For that, you know very well, if you are trying to call a routine again and again and again, it is better you put that inside a function and call that function. So how to create a function in your PHP? It is very simple. I'll start with the keyword function, give a name to it. So I'm going to say is a given number is an Armstrong number. So Armstrong. Okay. So you are given a number. You check whether the given number is an Armstrong number. So this function will take a number and it will do something. If this number happens to be a Armstrong number, it is going to say yes, true. Otherwise, it's going to return false. As simple as that. So how to check it? You know very well. So you take this number, 153 was given to you. So your story, you are already familiar. 153 was given to you. First thing what you did was you try to find the total number of digits inside it using the string length function. And then you use this mod operation and integer division repeatedly until this number became 0. So initially it was 153, then it became 15, then it became 1, and finally it becomes 0. So this number is going to break down and it's going to become 0. Until this number becomes 0, we have to keep on doing it, because we are going to break this number. I'm going to store that number, otherwise I will lose the original number. So I will not touch this original number. This is the number that was given to me, so I will not touch that number. Instead, I will not touch this number. I'm going to make a copy of this number, and I'm going to use it. How am I going to make the copy of this number? It's a very simple story. You say n is equal to $number. So that means n is the copy of the original number. So because we are going to break it. How to find the total number of digits? So you are going to say total number of digits. So let me just call it as a digit instead of writing a very lengthy word there. Digit is how do I do that thing? I said string length is a function. So you say string length of number. So you find the length. What is this length that I am trying to find? You know very well. Whenever a number is given to you, to check, first thing is you count how many total number of digits are there. Check how many total number of digits are there. Check how many total number of digits are there. The first thing is this. You check how many total number of digits are there. Okay, so that is what I am trying to do, and I'm going to get the total number of digits. Then you have done it in your C program. So as long as this number is greater than n is greater than 0, you repeatedly break this number. How do you break this number? First find the remainder. So let me use the variable r. Remainder is, how to find the remainder is a given number n mod 10 will give you the remainder. So you know very well. Next one, reduce this number. New number is equal to integer of remember here in C, actually if both of them are integer, C will do the integer division, but Python the PHP will not do it. So you have to do it manually. So you are going to say that integer of integer of what? Integer of n by 10. So let me n mod 10. So integer part of it. So this is what you have done. First you perform this mod operator, then perform the integer on this. So the remainder, whatever you are getting, so when you do it, what you are going to get is, first time you are going to get 3, next time you are going to get 5 as a remainder, next time you are going to get 1 as a remainder. Every time you get the remainder, what you are supposed to do is raise it to the power of total number of digits. So 3 to the power 3. Next time you get 5 to the power 3. What is this? 3 total number of digits. 1 to the power 3 total number of digits. What about this 1634? First you are going to get 4. Okay, so 4 to the power 4. Next you are going to get 3 to the power 4, and 6 to the power 4. Why this to the power 4? Totally 4 digits are there. So you get that thing and sum them together. So because I want to sum them together, I'm going to create one more variable here. Okay, that is going to store the sum. So I'm going to say sum is equal to 0. Initialize it, sum is equal to 0. So how am I going to get to the power of something? To the power of something. I think you are familiar with the C program. There is a power, x to the power n method. Hope you are. This is it's also there in C program. In Java, everywhere it is there. What is power x to the power n is? It's going to give you x to the power n. This function is going to do like this. For example, if you say power 2, 5, what is it? What is the meaning of it? It is 2 to the power 5. So x is 2, this is here. So x to the power n. In our case, what is that we are supposed to, we are going to get the remainder. I have called the remainder as r to the power total number of digits. What is that total number of digits? I am calling it as digits. So r to the power total number of digits. So if there are 3 digits are there, so this is going to be r to the power 3. If there are 4 digits are there, r to the power 4, and so on. So this is going to be r to the power total number of digits. So that is what you are going to do it. So let's write that thing. So sum is equal to, remember we have to keep on adding it. So if you look at here, we have to keep first get say, where is this, 3 to the power 3, that is 27, plus 5 to the power 3 plus, so sum is equal to, you have studied this story in your C program also. Sum is equal to old value of sum, okay, old value of sum plus power, r is the remainder, to the, where I put the r, to the power number of digits. Okay, in C you know very well, this can be written in a short form. What is the short form? Plus equal to. So you know that plus equal to means sum is equal to sum plus to the power x to the power total number of digits. So this is your C program that you have done. So you keep on doing it until this number becomes 0. So you repeat this while loop continuously until this while loop ends. So when this while loop ends, you check whether this sum is equal to the original number. So this is what you are supposed to do. At the end, you find the sum, okay, and then check whether this value of the sum is equal to the original number. If it is equal to original number, it is an Armstrong number. If it is not, it is not an Armstrong number. So this is as simple as that. So what is that we are going to return at the end? We are going to return, and we are going to say that return. So what is that we are going to return? You are going to check whether this sum is equal to the original number. So if it is equal to the original number, this is my original number, remember. If it is equal to, if this sum double equal to, not single equal to, you know, you have studied about C program, double equal is for comparison, single equal is for assignment. So if this number is equal to, if the sum is equal to the number, then it is true, otherwise it is false. So we have the function with us. Let me remove unnecessary line breaks here so that it just comes good. Done with that. So let's come back to this story. So here we are supposed to check if the number is a numeric number, and if it is greater than 0, then we are going to check. How to check? If is Armstrong given number. If this is true, then it is an Armstrong number, as simple as that. So we are going to say it's an Armstrong number. How do we say that it is an Armstrong number? We will say according to their story. What is that? This 153 is an Armstrong number. We'll say it in their word only. So we are going to say, I'm going to use the echo here. Echo, not this, how did it become capital? How is it becoming capital? Okay, so echo in double quotes, let me put it in double quotes. I'll use a paragraph tag here. Let me use the paragraph tag. Let me close that paragraph tag. I'm going to use the paragraph tag so that it comes beautiful. So I'm going to say given number. What is this number? N, U, here is a number, is an Armstrong number. This is what they have said. Is it right? Let me look at that. Okay, 153. What given number is an Armstrong number. So this is what they said. Okay. Otherwise, if it is not, this is not an Armstrong number. So simple as that. So let me handle the else part also there and there. So I'm going to say else. I'm going to say number is not an Armstrong number. Okay. Let me save it. Okay. You can right click and run it, but my advice is just go here and go to your output here, click here, press enter, and you get the fresh 153 according to them is an Armstrong number. So this you get it, you see that is an Armstrong number. Where is the story gone? 100 check is not an Armstrong number. So this is what they got it. Okay. So done is not a Armstrong number. So, but if 153, let's come to this 153 story. It is not enough if you just say 153 is an Armstrong number. Then what they have done is they have generated all the Armstrong numbers from 1 to 250, 1 to 153. They have generated all the Armstrong number. So how do you generate that? So there is one more line that you have to say. And let's go here. So if it is a Armstrong number, it is not the end of it. You will echo one more statement, and you are going to say what is that? You're going to say what they say. Okay. Armstrong number from 1 to 153 are. So you're going to say that. Let me zoom in for you. Armstrong numbers. What did they say? Armstrong numbers from 1 to 153. So where is this? From 1 to the given number. Remember, I cannot write 153 because the numbers will change. So whatever number they have typed here, whatever number you are typing, 153 or 100, 200, whatever number you type. So that Armstrong number from 1 to 153 are, and then is the colon is there. Where is it gone now? Okay, Armstrong number from 1 to the given number are, then a colon. Okay, like this. Done. Put a semicolon, and we are supposed to generate. How do you generate the number? So you use a for loop. So simple as that. So you start with the for. You can use control space for and then press enter. So if you have this, so for $I is equal to 1, because you said from 1, so you said from 1 up to how long? $I less than or equal to. Remember, you can put strictly less than or equal to. See what I feel is there is this 153 is there here, because this is a image that is copied. During the copying, that 153 has gone and it has erased it. So because they said from 1 is there to 153, that last number is also there. If they say no, it must be less than, then just make it as strictly less than. If you don't want, just put strictly less than, but I'm going to go with that. Okay, and I++. So this is your C program. Okay, this is a for loop. And what is that we are going to do? Remember, I value will start first. I is equal to 1, then I becomes 2, I becomes 3, I becomes 4, I becomes 5, 6, 7 up to 153. So every time you get the value I equal to 1, check whether the 1 is a Armstrong number. When I becomes 2, check whether it is an Armstrong number. When I becomes 3, check, and so on. How do I check it? Because I have a function here. That is why I wrote a function separately. So every time I get a new value of I, I'm going to check whether that is a what is it, Armstrong number. If it is an Armstrong number, I'm going to print the value of I. If it is not, I'm not going to print the value of I. So if 1 is a prime, the Armstrong number, I'm going to print the value of 1. If 2 is an Armstrong number, I'm going to print it. If 10 is not an Armstrong number, I'm not going to print it, because they said that print all the Armstrong number in the range from 1 to 153. All of them are Armstrong number. So let's go here, and I'm going to say if, okay, is Armstrong. So this is the value of I. So if I, so for every new value of I, when I is 1, check whether it is an Armstrong number. When I is 2, check whether Armstrong number. I is 3. So as the for loop keeps on iterating again and again and again, this for loop will keep on increasing. The I value will start from 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So for every value of I, check whether it is an Armstrong number. If it is an Armstrong number, you just echo the value. So that is simple as that. So you are going to echo the value of I. Then I need a space. Remember, you cannot put a space like this. It's not going to come. So how do you put the space? In the HTML word, to put the space, you have a non-breakable NB, non-breakable space, SP followed by a semicolon, NBSP, non-breakable space. This is how you get the space in HTML. Put the value and just see whether you are going to get all the values. So when I is equal to 1, you check. If it is an Armstrong number, you print it. When I is equal to I plus plus, will increase the value of I to I becomes 2. Check whether it is an Armstrong number. If so, you print it. If it is not, you don't print it. Simple as that. Now the question is whether the 1 is it a prime, the Armstrong number. So given digit, how many digits are there? Only 1 digits are there. How many digits are there? 2 digits are there. How many digits are there? 3 digits are there. So you see, this is 2 digits, this is 3 digits. So how do you check 25 is an Armstrong number? 2 to the power, how many digits are there? 2 to the power 2 plus 5 to the power 2. How to check 576 is a Armstrong number or not? 5 to the power, how many digits are there? 3. 5 to the power 3 plus 6 to the power, how many digits? 3 plus 7 to the power 3. So this is what you are doing. So how do you check 1 is a prime number? How many digits are there? 1. 1 to the power 1. What is 1 to the power 1? 1 to the power 1 is 1. There is nothing else to be added. So 1 is equal to 1. It is a prime number. I'm sorry. Why I'm getting stuck with that prime, I don't know. It's an Armstrong number. What about 2? Single digit. So this is how you said, if there are 2 digits, first digit to the power 2, second digit to the power 2. If there are 3 digits, first digit to the power 3, second digit to the power 3, and so on. If there is a single digit, 2 to the power 1 digit is there. 2 to the power 2 is 2 to the power 1 is 2 itself. Similarly, 3 to the power 1 is 3 itself. Now the question is 0 to the power 1. What is 0 to the power 1? Okay, 0 to the power 1 is 0. Okay, so now the question is, can this a Armstrong number or not? According to me, it is an Armstrong number, but the boss said here that it is not a, here 0 is not an Armstrong number. So I go, whatever boss said is true. So boss is always right. So I assume that it is not a Armstrong number. So what to do? Okay. Suppose that tomorrow if they say no, 0 is a Armstrong number, then what you do? You are starting from I is equal to 1. Start from I is equal to 0. Simple as that. Then 0 will also come. Okay, simple as that. Let's save it, and let's try to check whether 153, and I'm going to click here. So 153 is an Armstrong number. Armstrong numbers from 1 to 153 are all these numbers. Remember, I have put one extra 153. The reason is I believe that, see, because look at this range. From 1 is included. So you must also include the upper bound. 153. So that is why I included. I feel that when they copy pasted this, that 153, this thing came on top of this image, came on top of that 153. So 153 is there behind that image. Okay, so that is what is being done. If you look at the output that I have obtained and the output that is given by the university, there is a small difference, and the small difference is in the output that is given by them, that number is retained. If you notice over here, if you notice over here, on all the places the number is retained, whereas in my case this number is not retained. So how am I going to show the previously typed number? This trick is very simple. What I'm going to go over here is I'm going to go to the HTML part over here. Now, if you look at the output that the HTML form that I've created, I have the number here. Now, this number has to retain the old values. So, whichever value that I am submitting, for example, if let me go over here and let me just press enter here. This is the fresh copy that I'm going to get it. So whatever number that I'm typing, let's say 153 or whatever number that I'm typing, that number has to be shown again. So how can I show that number? That can be done by putting the value attribute for this text box. So I have this text box over here. In that, I'm going to put the value attribute. So how do I get this value attribute? So I'm going to say value is equal to something. So what is this value is equal to? So the value will be the default value that it is going to show. This value that I'm going to show will be obtained from the value that is submitted. So suppose if I type 153 and submit, this value, when it is going to the server, that value has to be again shown there. So if there is some value that is typed in this, whatever value, 153 or 190 or whatever value that somebody is typing, that value has to be shown back again. So how am I going to do that thing? So I'm going to write a small PHP script. You can write anywhere. So I'm going to just write it before the form so that you won't get confused. So I'm going to write a small PHP part over here. And in this PHP part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the value that is typed here. So whatever value that somebody is typing, whichever value that is typing, I'm going to retain that value. So how am I going to do that thing? So let's assume that this value is yen. So let me just say $yen is equal to. So I know that the click event is set for us. So that is equivalent for that. So I'm going to use the same story here also. So what I'm going to say here is if that particular value is set. So how am I going to say is set? Okay. I'm posting the value. So this is post. The variable, what is the variable name? Number. So if something is set in this number, so what is the meaning of this is if some value is set in this particular number, if something is typed there, then retain that value. So get that one. So I hope you are familiar with the ternary operator in your C programming language. So I'm going to use that same ternary operator. And what is this ternary operator that I'm going to use here is I'm going to use a question mark. If some value is set, then retain that value. Then retain that value. Otherwise, put a blank. So what is that I'm saying is if some value is set, so there is a question mark. Okay, so if some value is set, so this value, then retain that value. So if the value is set, then retain that value. Otherwise, use blank. So simple as that. So in other words, if somebody has typed a value, then retain that value. Otherwise, if somebody has not typed anything, then keep it as blank. So as simple as that. I'm going to store it in this variable, that is the n variable, and I'm going to whatever. So the n value will be either whatever somebody has typed here, or it will be blank depending upon whether somebody has typed it or not. So if somebody has typed some value, then that value will be retained, otherwise blank will be retained. So what is the value of n? N will be either some value that is typed by the user or nothing. If nothing is typed, n value will be there. That n value, I'm going to store it, I'm going to show it as a value attribute for my text box. So this text box is there. For this text box, there is one attribute called as value, which will show you the default value. So the default value will be either a value that is typed by the user or a blank. So this I'm using now again, if you're not familiar, this is a shortcut for echoing out something. This is again a PHP shortcut. So this is a PHP story. Remember, I retained everything in PHP, so I can't just jump out of PHP to HTML. So everything has to be there within this PHP. So this is what I'm doing. So if there is a value, so if there is a value, so let's look at that thing. If there is any value, if there is a value that is typed by the user, store it. If there is no value, store the blank. In any case, show that value as a part of the text box. So that is what I'm trying to do over here. So let's see, I'm going to save this one. You can use Ctrl S to save it. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to press enter to reload that page. So now if I type 153 here, 153 here and check, you will see everything as same as in the previous case. Only difference is it is retaining that old value, and that is what is required. It is retaining that old value. So suppose if I type 100 here and then say check, it's going to say 100 is not a Armstrong number, and that it is retaining that value here. It is retaining that value here. Suppose if I say something else as a text input, not input, text input, and if I check this one, it's going to say please enter a positive number. So it's going to retain. So suppose if I don't set anything, it is blank, it will, if I say check, it's going to say check for the positive value, because you cannot submit the negative value here. Let me just close it and just show you. Please fill out the field here. How did I get this option? Is because I said it is required. So here if you notice, there is a required field here that will not allow you to submit the form unless you fill something there. So this is the last part that we are supposed to do it. With that, I think we will conclude our program. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next exercise. Thank you.